The question of what it means to be successful in life by age 70 concerns many. It's not just a list of achievements, but rather a collection of small victories, moments when you feel that life has been lived for a reason. 6 simple abilities, which, if still available at this age, may indicate that a person is in excellent shape. First of all, the ability to climb stairs without getting out of breath is an important indicator. It may seem insignificant, but in reality, it is a hidden test of physical fitness. Research shows that the cardiovascular system deteriorates with age, and according to the American Heart Association, aerobic capacity by age 70 can decrease by 40% compared to age 30. Climbing stairs involves the heart, lungs, and muscles simultaneously, representing a complex workout. A European study found that people over 60 who could climb 3 flights of stairs in less than 90 seconds were significantly less likely to experience heart problems in the next 10 years. Seemingly, an ordinary staircase can predict future health. What else might indicate that a person is succeeding in life at this age? Imagine a 70-year-old visiting a friend in a high-rise building. A broken elevator can cause irritation and waiting downstairs. However, if he confidently overcomes the flight of stairs, perhaps ironically noting his physical activity, it indicates his good shape. Ease in climbing stairs indicates efficient cardiovascular function, excellent lung function, and muscle strength. Overcoming the stairs without excessive shortness of breath is a reason to be proud, as not everyone is capable of it. Next time, when faced with a choice, elevator or stairs, it is worth giving preference to the latter. No less important indicator of health is the ability to recall recent events, such as yesterday's lunch. Memory plays a key role in the aging process, keeping the brain active. Cognitive decline is a serious problem for the elderly. According to the Alzheimer's Association, about 11% of people over 65 experience memory impairment. However, if a person easily remembers what they had for lunch, such as a tuna sandwich and chips, or a piece of chocolate cake for dessert, it indicates good brain function. Memory, like a well-trained muscle, flourishes and strengthens through constant practice and attention. The more actively a person uses their brain, the more powerful and flexible it becomes. This process can be compared to regular workouts for the mind, which occur even unnoticed by the person themselves. By recalling simple everyday events, such as what was for lunch, a person already engages and strengthens their cognitive functions. And if it is possible to recall the details of conversations that took place at the dinner table or to remember witty remarks, it becomes a real triumph for the brain. Imagine a scene, a family dinner, and a grandson curiously asks, "Grandma, what did you eat yesterday?" And the grandmother, giving him a smile, without the slightest hesitation, answers, "Oh, I had a delicious salad with juicy grilled chicken and a piece of fragrant apple pie. Simply delicious." This simple example not only demonstrates excellent memory function, but also strengthens the connection between generations. By sharing such seemingly insignificant details of their day, a person maintains connection with the outside world and loved ones. It is worth noting that the state of memory is influenced by a whole complex of factors, including an active lifestyle, a balanced diet, and regular mental activity. Scientific studies convincingly prove that such simple activities as reading books, solving puzzles, or even a lively conversation with friends help maintain the brain in tone and preserve its functionality at a high level. Adding to the diet foods known for their beneficial properties for the brain, such as juicy berries, nutritious nuts, and fresh leafy greens, can be an additional incentive for improving memory. Thus, if a person is able to recall with a smile what they ate yesterday, what treats were served for dessert, or even retell a funny story related to the meal, they are doing more than just remembering the past. They demonstrate that their mind is still active, strong, and ready for new challenges. Let these pleasant memories continue to fill life, because these are small victories worthy of celebration, confirming that life continues in all its fullness and colors. So, we will talk about balance, but not about the life balance between work and personal life, but about the physical ability, the ability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds. At first glance, it may seem like a child's game or an element of yoga, but experts say this exercise is a kind of indicator of longevity. Imagine a situation. You are in your living room and you are asked to check if you can maintain balance on one leg for 10 seconds. It seems simple, but scientific studies suggest otherwise. The authoritative British Journal of Sports Medicine published a study that showed that people aged 70 who can balance on one leg for 10 seconds reduce their risk of developing serious health problems in the coming years by as much as 50%. This is not just a fun ability, but a real indicator of physical health, requiring concentration and regular practice. Balance is not just a beautiful posture or the ability to stand gracefully. It is a complex that includes strength, coordination, and mental concentration. When a person stands on one leg, their body works in an enhanced mode to maintain stability. Muscles tense, the torso activates, and the brain sends signals that control every movement to avoid falling. This is an impressive demonstration of the coordinated work of the body, which has a significant impact on overall health. Imagine a picturesque scene, a leisurely walk in the park, where the eye is drawn to the figure of an elderly man, about 70 years old, effortlessly balancing on one leg. This sight cannot but arouse admiration. Perhaps this is part of his usual warm-up, or perhaps a demonstration of excellent physical shape to an amazed youth. In any case, this is an achievement worthy of attention. The ability to maintain balance on one leg, even for a short time, is not just a fun trick. This is an eloquent indicator of muscle strength and honed coordination of movements. A person who can stand like a flamingo without losing balance demonstrates a level of physical fitness that many young people envy. This is evidence of harmony with one's own body, which in itself is a significant triumph. Moreover, the ability to maintain balance indicates a reduced risk of falls and other undesirable health complications. Therefore, if the opportunity arises, it is worth trying to stand on one leg for 10 seconds. The result may surprise you, revealing a lot about your current health and vitality. This is one of those small victories that allow you to confidently say, "I am succeeding in life." Let's move on to discussing the true treasure, genuine joy, manifested in infectious laughter, the kind that makes the diaphragm shake, tears well up in the eyes, and the face is covered with a network of happy wrinkles, resembling ripe raisins. If a person retains the ability to see the comic in the vicissitudes of fate, if he has not forgotten how to joke or laugh heartily at the absurdity, this indicates his triumph not only on the physical, but also on the emotional and intellectual fronts. After all, laughter is not just a spontaneous reaction to the funny, it is a sure sign of an unfading thirst for life, evidence of strong emotional health. Humor, in essence, is not just a way to have fun, it is a powerful tool for maintaining psychological stability. Studies conducted at the famous Stanford University convincingly prove that laughter has a beneficial effect on the body. It helps reduce levels of stress hormones, strengthens the immune system, and even increases the pain threshold. Yes, this is not a slip of the tongue. Sincere laughter not only gives pleasant sensations in the moment, but also has a tangible benefit for physical health. Remember those moments when laughter brought you to a pain in your side. This feeling, this deep, gut-wrenching laughter, is nothing more than the body's natural way to stimulate the production of chemicals that cause a feeling of well-being. This is a kind of built-in natural remedy for relieving stress. Over the years, life often presents us with unexpected twists of fate. At times, loved ones leave us, or health problems suddenly cloud our existence. The world around us is changing rapidly, and it seems that all the changes are happening in an instant. It is in such moments that humor becomes our faithful ally. Laughter is not just a pleasant pastime, it is a powerful tool that can soften the blows of fate. It helps us to endure difficulties more easily and maintain the ability to adapt to change when life seems unpredictable. The ability to laugh at yourself or find the comic in difficult situations is evidence of personal maturity and emotional stability. This says that, despite all the difficulties, a person is able to cope with life's challenges. I remember one elderly acquaintance who told stories about her younger years with sparkling humor. Her infectious laughter, like that of a teenager, filled those around her with joy. Despite the hardships she had endured, she always found a reason to laugh. She laughed not just at jokes, but at life itself, at all its unexpected surprises. So, when we enjoy a favorite comedy series, exchange jokes with friends, or simply laugh at our own mistakes, we are doing more than just entertaining ourselves. We are demonstrating our mental resilience, emotional strength, and willingness to face any challenges that life throws our way. And that, without a doubt, is a true victory. Let's consider an aspect that seems insignificant, but is of immense importance: social connections. If a person aged 70 or older continues to actively maintain old friendships or make new ones, they are accomplishing something that not everyone can. Loneliness is a serious problem affecting a significant number of elderly people. This insidious feeling can gradually take over a person, especially when communication with the outside world weakens and life circumstances lead to a sense of isolation. This problem is more widespread than it seems at first glance. According to the National Institute on Aging, about 30% of people over 70 experience a marked sense of loneliness. In other words, almost 1 in 3 elderly people suffers from a lack of social contact, which makes life rich and fulfilling. However, there is also a positive side. If an elderly person continues to go out, socialize with old friends, or make new acquaintances, they are already in a winning position. Studies show that people who maintain strong social connections tend to live longer and have better mental health. Maintaining an active social life has a beneficial effect on the brain and the body as a whole. So, the next time you enjoy a cup of coffee with a friend or share a laugh with a loved one, remember that it not only brings joy, but also contributes to increasing your lifespan. An interesting example is Okinawa, a region in Japan known for its long-lived inhabitants. Many residents of this region live to be 100 years old, and scientists are studying the factors that contribute to their longevity. One of the most common factors identified by researchers is strong social connections. The people of Okinawa realize that sharing stories, mutual support, and shared laughter play a vital role in maintaining health and happiness. They have a concept called moai, groups of people who support each other throughout their lives. Whether it's a circle of friends that has developed over decades or a new interest group, these connections are invaluable. Thus, if an elderly person attends a weekly book club or meets up with a friend they've known for years, they possess a wealth that many underestimate. We are not talking about material possessions, but about the wealth of human relationships. Having people with whom you can laugh, share thoughts, and life experiences creates a legacy of love and connection that will sustain a person for many years. It is important to continue to strengthen friendships, make new acquaintances, and pay attention to the people who matter. This is not just maintaining social activity, it is an investment in maintaining mental acuity and emotional resilience in old age. Let's turn to an aspect of everyday life that may seem insignificant at first glance, but is actually a clear indicator of a person's independence: cooking. Imagine a situation: a person enters their kitchen, opens the cupboard, chooses their favorite ingredients, and begins to create a culinary masterpiece. This may not seem like anything special, but this process demonstrates the preservation of competence. Cooking is not just a mechanical mixing of ingredients, but a complex of actions requiring a certain amount of physical activity. The ability to stand, coordinate movements to cut food, and have sufficient memory to follow a recipe. In addition, it is a manifestation of self-care, even if the food is prepared for only one person. The very process of preparing food serves as a wonderful reminder that a person is still in control of their life. It is worth noting that cooking is not only a way to provide oneself with what is necessary, but also a contribution to improving health. A large-scale study conducted in Sweden found that elderly people who cook for themselves are more likely to adhere to a balanced diet and have a significantly lower risk of developing chronic diseases. According to the study, those who cook for themselves are 25% less likely to develop health problems such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Thus, when standing at the stove or preparing a favorite dish, a person is not only satisfying their gastronomic needs, but also taking active steps to maintain health and vitality. Delving deeper into the subject reveals a source of true enjoyment. There is something extraordinarily captivating in creating something from nothing. It is not only the triumph of completion that is attractive, but also the creative process itself, the sensation of kneading dough when diverse components merge into a single whole, or when an exquisite dish is meticulously prepared, fills one with a sense of accomplishment. Time seems to slow down, allowing one to fully focus on oneself and the goal at hand. This harmony with the here and now becomes a unique form of meditation, bringing peace to the soul. Preparing food also serves as a bridge to the past, resurrecting cherished memories. Perhaps it is an old recipe passed down from a grandmother, or an attempt to recreate a culinary masterpiece tasted during an unforgettable vacation. Regardless of the source of inspiration, cooking becomes an act of self-expression, a manifestation of care and love. Therefore, whether preparing appetizing pancakes, creating a vibrant salad, or simmering a hearty stew, a person is not simply cooking food. They are asserting their independence, taking care of their body, and reminding themselves that age is just a number. They become a living embodiment of how the simple joy of cooking can energize, strengthen health, and connect one with life. And frankly, who would refuse a delicious treat prepared with love? Climbing stairs, mentally replaying the details of yesterday's meal, maintaining balance on one leg, laughing heartily, maintaining warm relationships with friends, and preparing food for oneself. Each of these actions, taken individually, may seem like an insignificant achievement. However, collectively, they form a vivid portrait of a person who has reached maturity and prosperity. These abilities, going beyond simple physical activity, serve as unmistakable indicators of resilience, the ability to adapt to change, and the capacity to find joy in everyday life. At the age of 70, the ability to perform these actions with ease is evidence of a life lived fully and richly, as well as an indomitable spirit that is not subject to time. Thus, if you have reached the age of 70 and are still able to cope with these tasks without much effort, it means not only a victory in life, but also convincing proof that age is not an insurmountable obstacle on the path to a full and happy life. It is a demonstration that mature years can be a time of new discoveries, joy, and continued active participation in life.